Hi, this is Cheryl Peterson with the Community of Christ Scientist. The meaning of Christmas. In the Northern Hemisphere, the winter solstice occurs December 21st or 22nd as the shortest day and longest night of the year. Interestingly, the shortest day and longest night occurs on June 20th or 21st in the Southern Hemisphere. Once upon a time, people, strangers to one another in different places in the world, jabbed a tall rock into the ground. As the sun shone, they marked the rock's respective moving shadows on the surrounding ground. Lo and behold, it was realized that day lengths changed. Nearer the North Pole, during a frigid, dark winter, when people were hungry and losing their will to live, someone encouraged them to place their hope into the idea of better times ahead, sunlight. The days will get longer, they said. Thus began the celebration of the winter solstice. Centuries later, after the man called Jesus had died, and people were miserable and losing their will to live, someone encouraged them to place their hope into the idea of better times ahead, enlightenment. God will help us fix these problems, they said. Thus began the celebration of the birth of Jesus the Christ, which in due time was wed or joined to the winter solstice. Not as an argument for the exact day Jesus was born, but more so because Christ represents the light of that godly love and truth that pierces the heart, saves the soul, and transforms us into that which we can feel worthy of, gives us meaning and meaningfulness. In other words, the birth of Christ can be divorced from Christmas Day. The joy of Christmas can be experienced every day. If our boss on the job fails to see the good we're doing and constantly berates us for every single mistake we make, we can give birth to the Christly forgiveness. We can cherish that forgiveness and not feel resentment toward our boss, but keep working harder each day. Mary, Jesus' mother, in an animal stall, went through agonizing birth pains to hold her bundle of joy and cherish a promise fulfilled. Her husband, Joseph, cared for the infant without resentment that he wasn't the father. Today, we can birth Christly strength, forgiveness, and love. Today. If we're minding our own business and get bombarded by outside circumstances that produce a storm of fright to our mind and body, we can take a deep breath and hear the angel message that told shepherds in the field, "I bring you good news that will cause great joy for all the people." We can respond to our own Christ ability to put aside our own agenda for a while, look for and find manifestations of the Christ Spirit in our nearby surroundings, and then go tell others. We celebrate the Messiah, God with us, most powerful to save us from anxiety. If we're given a challenging child to raise, we can travel for far distances like the Magi to discover and honor that Christ child within that can overcome whatever world limitations is placed on them. We may not have gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh to give the child, but we can give our own Christly patience, wisdom, and respect to the Christ child. We'll learn about the winter solstice through science, through discovery, knowledge, and order. We fathom the birth of a baby called Jesus because babies are born all the time. We recognize the birth of Christmas near the winter solstice because it symbolizes our ability to participate in joy and hope far better than participating in complaint or sadness or madness. It is through reason and revelation that we understand the birth and life of Christ. It requires time, courage, and experience to understand. The Gospel John from the Bible reads, "Flesh gives birth to flesh, but the Spirit gives birth to spirit. You should not be surprised at my saying," said Jesus, "you must be born again. The wind blows wherever it pleases. You hear its sound, but you cannot tell where it comes from or where it is going. So it is with everyone born of the Spirit." Christ is an idea. Christ can be divorced from a specific time, place, or person, yet fully linked to every day, place, or individual. The meaning of Christmas: every day is ours.